again, this is Optibotimus coming to you with another video review, and this time we're taking a look at the Generation 1 Constructicons. Now, there are very few Transformers in the Transformers universe that, when you think of them, command the power, the respect, the sheer awesomeness like the Constructicons do, especially when they form into Devastator. The Constructicons form a team that, unlike any other combiner team, have a very unique place in the hearts of everybody that collects Transformers, watches Transformers, everything along that line. They're just awesome. They make up, 6 of them make up Devastator. Unlike every other combiner that came after them, where only 5 are used to create a gigantic robot, 6 of them create a gigantic robot with this one, and he was the first one that we were introduced to in the cartoon continuity. And it's phenomenal, to the point where in the original 86 movie, there's a scene in it where Daniel witnesses the Constructicons coming together, and he's like, "Hot Rod, Cup, look!" And then Cup runs up the stairs and looks and sees them forming and gasps almost, and you see the terror in his eyes as he's like, "Devastator." And then Devastator's famous line, "Prepare for termination." It's outstanding. And this set, if you are not a Transformer fan, whatever, you don't care about this. If you are a Transformers fan and you do not have this original set, you're not a real Transformer fan. Forget that Revenge of the Fallen crap. This is where it's at. Now, starting things off, I'm going to go from left to right. We're going to take a look at Long Haul. Now, Long Haul transforms into this nice little dump truck type of thing. He's got 4 wheels total on the back, 2 on each side, and 1 here in the front. Now, Long Haul is a dump truck that does not really like being a dump truck. He accepts his role, but he would much prefer to be a warrior and go out and fight and all that fantastic stuff. He doesn't really like doing it, and he feels that it's kind of obnoxious that he's got to do it. So, as you can see, very nice dump truck mode, nothing too spectacular with it. So, to transform him, you just kind of bend this section down here. This will kind of clip into place, and then you fold out the back load thing, kind of rotate these out. This is tough, but you get the wheels out there, or the legs out there. Reach in here and pull the arms out. There we are. Fold out the hands. Do the same on the other side. Fold his little hands out. Fold this section back. Reach in here and lift his head up. And here you have Long Haul in his robot mode. Now, one thing that I will say is I do have all the weapons for all these guys, except they're in this little baggie. And I'm not exactly sure which gun goes with which person, so I'm not going to show that off, with the exception of this one, because that goes with Mixmaster and it kind of completes his look. But back to Long Haul, you get his arms and they rotate. That's about it. I guess you could kind of say that he bends at the knee. But like I said, that's pretty much all you're going to get with Long Haul. Nice looking figure, though. I do really like him. Good chrome bits on there and everything. So, Long Haul. And up next, we have the cement mixer / chemist of the group, Mr. Mixmaster. Now, Mixmaster, like I said, he's a little crazy, it seems, and he likes to cackle quite often. But he is a fantastic chemist, and he knows exactly what he's doing. While he's crazy and erratic by nature, like I said, he's a genius. And he's able to mix chemicals in his drum here that you really wouldn't expect. And he's been known to insert solid objects, such as cars, into it to build new building materials for the rest of the Constructicons. He's got 2 wheels here on one side, 2 wheels on this side, 1 here, so he's got 6 wheels. 1, 2, 3, just like Long Haul. Overall, not too bad. His thing here rotates, pretty nice. He's got, I got some damage on here from the stickers, but that's what Repro Labels is for. To transform him, you kind of just rotate this little bit around, and this always gives me a little bit of a hard time. There we are. Take his sides right here, pull that out, and there's his arms. And like I said, you have this little bit right here, and here's a sticker that's a little loose, I suppose. And that just kind of plugs right inside there. Kind of completes his look, I suppose. Very nice looking figure as well. A lot of these look really close to their animation model, which I guess isn't too terribly surprising. In terms of his articulation, his arms just rotate. And that's pretty much it. for him, but there's Mixmaster. Next we have Scavenger. Now Scavenger is admittedly pathetic. He really doesn't put much stock into his abilities as a Decepticon, and that's rather unfortunate because he does have a really unique ability. His shovel here actually has the ability to detect various magnetic, ionic, electrical, and gas readings, and he can usually locate, well, he can use it to locate items of value, but he ends up usually finding just crap. There was one episode, I think it was actually in the early part of the G1 series, where the Constructicons were trying to infiltrate Autobot headquarters, and they were digging underneath it, and he was able to detect that they were right above it. So, I mean, he's usually actually kind of, entertaining, but like I said, he doesn't really have a lot of worth in his mind to the whole grand scheme of things. Now, to transform this guy, you kind of do whatever you want with the back section. Fold these bits down. Rotate the little feetums. Hey, there's a feet. There's a feet. Look at the feet. Take the head, rotate that up. Reach in here and slide his arms out. There we are, just like so. And again, a nice looking representation, although he's, weird and he's got a shovel between his legs, but it's overall not too bad. Again, you got this little section here that comes down that will help him to form his bit for Devastator, and we'll show that off here in a little bit. But Scavenger. Up next we have Scrapper. Now Scrapper is, in addition to the fact that 6 Constructicons form Devastator, which is unique in itself because most combiners actually require 5 separate robots, this guy requires 6. The other thing interesting is Scrapper here, being the leader of the Constructicons, doesn't form the torso like all the other combiner teams. He actually forms a leg, which is, unique in itself. But he's this little front loader type of a thing. I don't even know. Yeah, front load shovel, it says. Good designer. He's a master designer who conceives all the crazy Constructicon things that they work together, and they usually will assemble. You get the rub sign there and all that junk. Although now he's genuinely modest, believe it or not, about his works. He likes to brag about it to his fellow Constructicons. Now, this is part of a weakness for him, but overall, really, really nice. Of interesting note that Scrapper was originally supposed to be named Gravedigger. FYI. A lot of people will see him without this bit. That's common. If you're gonna buy these, make sure you get this canopy included with it, which just kind of plugs right in their leg. So transform this guy. You just rotate his legs around, and like with all these guys, you have to kind of rotate the legs outward, or I'm sorry, swivel them outward to get them to completely fully rotate. And this guy's really stiff. It's kind of annoying. There you go. Come on, rotate out. There you go. Good job. There you have his legs. His arms are already out there. Just kind of fold this section back and push this in. Lift his head, and depending on how high you want this, you can position this any number of ways. I usually just leave it like that because it looks more like the animation model. Now you can remove this, like I said, but I usually keep it pegged in. I don't actually think you see that in the animation model. I could be wrong. But in terms of his articulation, his arms will go up, and that's as far as they go. Both arms do that, as you can see, and they bend at the knee kind of. So there we have Scrapper. Really nice figure. I really like him. I mean, all of them, like I said, look really close to their animation model, and I really, really like that. Next, we have what is referred to as the surgical engineer of the group, and that is Hook. Now, Hook is a Hook. He's a crane, and he forms the head and the shoulders of Devastator. Now, he's the second in command, and he's a perfectionist, and he considers himself too elite for most of the other Decepticons. He's excellent at performing his tasks, but, being a perfectionist and all that stupid stuff, that's obviously going to be a weakness as his vanity continues to grow. But like I said, arrogance, weakness, all that junk. But is great at doing surgical operations. And I'm actually missing his chest sticker, which kind of bugs me. But again, Repro Lebos. Now to transform this guy, you just kind of, oh, and that does slide out, and you got his little hook piece that does swivel, and this will rotate 360 degrees, because you need that. You definitely need that. Kind of put that back. Transform him, just kind of pull him apart. Come around here to the legs and rotate these around. There we go. Put that section back and then just slide out his arms. Fold out his head. And one thing that kind of sucks is, you know, he stands but he falls back because he's so back heavy. So you actually have to use this crane bit to kind of help prop him up, which kind of sucks and can make this sliding bit here a little bit weaker. But there you have Hook, and I don't know what it is about the look of this guy, but I just really like the way he looks. His arms rotate. His head is, well, not all the way. If you fold this little bit back, and this is stiff. Nicole is calling me. See? That's Nicole. She's calling me. You're returning my phone call. Well, you're gonna be on a video review of mine, because you called while I'm in the middle of trying to film my Constructicon video. So, oh well, no, it's not going on now. Just the phone rang, and I looked, and I'm like, oh, Nicole is calling me. So I think I'll leave that in the video. Okay, so sorry about that. A little bit distracted, but so I don't even remember what I was saying. Here's Hook. You got to use this to kind of stand him. Articulation, his arms rotate. I do need to get a sticker for right there. Just it'll complete it because he looks a little naked without it, and his head is really loose. That seems to be kind of common with a lot of Hook figures. So there's Hook. Really cool. And last but certainly not least, we come to Bonecrusher. Now, as you can see, he's a bulldozer. And what do bulldozers like to do? They like to demolish things. And so does Bonecrusher. He's a brawler by nature, and he specializes in demolition work. He loves destroying shit. Under the vicious personality he has, though, is an underlining motive that he is a perfectionist at heart, and he wishes to destroy all that he deems imperfect, including the Autobots, obviously. He would enjoy the extra potential for destruction as Devastator, except he doesn't like sharing the same mind space as his other Constructicons. So he's kind of greedy in that regard. He wants to destroy stuff, but doesn't like sharing amongst everybody. You got a little pivot right here, and that's about it. Now to transform this fella, kind of rotate his arms outward, fold this section back, lift this up, rotate his little arms down, fold his legs down as well, kind of push this all the way back, and these like really stick. There's one. God, that's really annoying. And there you have his little feetums. Fold out his head, and there you have Bonecrusher. Overall, again, a nice looking robot mode. His arms rotate here. They're always at this 90-degree angle, which is, you know, kind of goofy. I mean, you can't really do too much with it. You can kind of bend them, but it looks stupid. And then his legs are connected, so again, he really doesn't do anything as well. So there you have all 6 Constructicons in their robot mode. You know, as I said, if you do not have this set, you are not a real Transformer fan. I'm sorry, that's all there is to it. Even if you're a young kid, this is what started it all off. You have to respect this. You have to appreciate this. I'm sorry, if you don't, you're retarded. Now, while this is a great set individually by their own, you know, I mean, nice looking, there are some things that make them even cooler. And that is the one and the only Devastator. Now, to transform him, you have to utilize all these little figures. So we're going to shoot this out, and that shoots really well. Put this away. We're going to make all of his legs and all his limbs and stuff. Now, to get to his legs, kind of push this in, rotate this little bit around, pull that out, fold that up, and here you have one of his legs. Nice and done. Next, we're going to go to Scrapper. Kind of push this down, rotate these arms back. Now you have to kind of position this in a certain way, kind of lower his head a little so you can slide this back a little bit. Not much, just enough where he's going to be displayed standing up straight. There we go. Then rotate these legs around, folding them all the way in. that little section here that doesn't like cooperating very well. There we go. And here you have his other legs. Then this little connector bit comes into play, and this is actually a pain in the ass to kind of connect. You kind of plug that in there, do it, and I don't know why. I have no idea why this is so hard to connect on mine, but he really connects difficult for me on this guy. I really don't know why, and it's a very, very frustrating bit. There we go. Sounds like you're going to break it when you do it, though, but now you have his legs forming. Really nice. I'm liking it. I'm going to go up a little bit more. Next, we're going to come to Bonecrusher. I'm sorry, Long Haul. You're going to transform him about halfway into robot mode, halfway into vehicle mode. So you're going to tuck the hands in, put that down, rotate these legs back, just like so. And really, this is what you have. Now, you have this piece also that comes with them, and you're going to plug this underneath here in this little slot. Very good. And then you slide this right in here. And there you have, looks like it's always angled. I don't know if that's me or normal with it, but always looks angled. And there you have that. Go up a little bit more. Now we're going to take Hook, fold his head down, plug his arms in, rotate, well, fold these little bits out, rotate his legs back and in, rotate him around, and this is how you're going to have him positioned. Then you pull out Devastator's head, and kind of highlighting this a little bit. It is a little bit different. One of the inconsistencies is he actually has individual eyes, which on most of the animation models that we saw in the cartoon series, he actually had a red visor. So this is kind of a little bit off. Take this little bit right here, fold that out, kind of fold this in a little bit more, and then just take this and slide this onto his back section. Like so. Slide it all the way over to the side where it matches up with this little tab. Now you have a hole and a peg that connect to the top here. So just... Oh, that was a horrible sound. It sounded like I had a cough or something. That was terrible. There we go. And we're getting Devastator looking almost complete. You can take this little bit right here, his little chest piece, and as you can see, there's holes here on the back. Just kind of, and you got a little tab. Just line this up and slot that in to create that. That works for now. Come around here to Bonecrusher, and you're going to put him all the way back into his vehicle mode. So fold the little feetums away, rotate that back, fold this section down, rotate these, tuck his little head away, fold that down, and he actually connects like this. Now he has a little knob right there that if you get the proper hand, forearm, grab that, plug that in there, get his hand, and you plug that in. Now they are spring loaded except for the fact that I took the spring out of this one because it's really bad. It like springs, but now it doesn't really stand there very well. But it doesn't bother me all that much, and I'll show you why. And then you connect that little section to this. And there you have Devastator's one arm. So far looking good. And right around here, the last little bit, you tuck his arms, you fold that in, and again, you just transform him back into his vehicle mode. Fold his head down, rotate the feetums inward, fold this up. Well, you can take this little bit here, fold that down, then fold this up. You can do whatever you want with the crane bit. I usually just kind of like have it halfway hanging down like so. Take his other forearm, plug this in. Now I did not remove the spring in this one, and the thing that sucks is this thing springs out really easily. So now you have his completed arm. Come around here, drop Devastator, and you see a little section right here that plugs into. And there you have Generation 1, the Devastator, in his robot mode. You know, this Devastator is, like I said, an icon. He's iconic. Massive, powerful, has nothing else on his mind but destruction. His sole purpose is to destroy anything and everything that gets in his way. Now, it is ironic that the subtle intelligence that all the Constructicons have themselves are sacrificed when they combine. But simple-mindedness is a common limitation of all the other combining Transformers, because Devastator's thoughts and actions are limited to what his 6 components can agree upon at any given time. So it's tough. I mean, they're constantly fighting with one another in one mind. Devastator seems like a being of instinct. He lashes out at everything around him before even contemplating the consequences. So powerful, strong, doesn't really think too well. But overall, a gorgeous looking combined form that is really, really kind of cool. You can kind of fold that up, whatever you want to do with it. Really a very nice looking robot mode. Really nice. Articulation wise, his arms can kind of go up, but then they're going to hit this, and then they move down, and this hand is already, I don't know if you see it, it already sprung loose. So his wrists will rotate, and that's about it. And he also gets some elbow, I suppose you can call it, and there goes his hand. We'll plug that right back in. But it's going to fall out again. No articulation in his legs or anything. He's very limited in that respect. His articulation suffers. But that being said, there are some things that we can do to fix that.
The Transformers will return after these messages.